Welcome to the Improve Work podcast. I'm your host, Daniela Tancău, an HR consultant helping entrepreneurs and team leaders build motivated, high-performing teams. Here we talk about leadership, employee motivation, and other topics that enhance your ability to lead, whether you are an entrepreneur with a team, a business owner planning to build one, or a leader in a company. You'll gain practical advice and insights from me and my guests, experts in the field and entrepreneurs who share their leadership experiences. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe to stay updated on every episode. Let's dive into today's topic. Hi, here we are at a new episode of the Improve Work podcast, and today's topic is the influence of direct managers on employee motivation and performance. So an employee's motivation and performance, and in general his or her experience in a company, is greatly influenced by their direct manager. Whether it's a small or large company, the direct manager is the authority figure with whom the employee interacts most frequently and who influences how employees carry out their activities, right? And for example, there could be two employees with different direct managers in the same company who have very different experiences and results due to different leadership skills of the individuals who are in leading roles. Or more precisely, the same employee may have two managers at different times and behave differently, achieving different results. Did you see this? So, under a certain manager, an employee may feel unhappy and unsatisfied with his or her job, while under another manager, he or she may feel pleased and fulfilled. And considering this, I want to ask you if you assess the leadership skills of those in managing positions in your company. If you have employees who coordinate or lead others, how do you ensure that they lead in ways that best serve your business and your employer brand? So, in case the leadership style creates dissatisfaction and causes employees to leave, do the revenues they bring to your business really outweigh costs such as workflow disruptions, time and money spent replacing employees in actions such as ending contracts, recruiting, selecting, hiring new employees, or costs related to integrating new employees? Then possible negative reviews from former employees that could harm your company's reputation. Also, the risk of hiring new people who might leave for the same reasons as the former employees. So, assessing the leadership skills of those who lead other people is a critical action you should take to ensure your business success. Sometimes promotions are made based on performance results, and skills like communicating and interacting well with others, the ability to create connections, or organizational abilities are left aside. So in order to ensure that these skills are present, you can assign mentors to those new in these kinds of positions, so they have someone from whom to get advice, or sign them up in team leadership trainings or courses. You can also gather feedback from the people they lead to get direct insights into their leadership skills. And if you consider you also need to develop your leadership skills, you can take the same actions for yourself. I want to talk now about the misconception that exists out there and say that efficient leadership doesn't require compatibility between team leader and team members. It's nice, but it's not required because it's not about this. Leadership is not about this. If it were about this, then all employees under that manager would need to be chosen based on compatibility to respond well to the manager leading style and personality, right? However, many managers take over teams that are already formed, or they may be appointed as supervisors of hard-to-replace team members, right? So leadership is about adapting the way the manager interacts with employees to their individual development stages, their levels of experience, and their confidence in their abilities. It's about providing support when it's needed, coaching them to grow, and empowering them when they are ready. So it's much more about the leader being flexible and considering the various factors that influence an employee's performance and growth than about the employees fitting into a leader's preferred style. That's why it's important to assess if your company's direct managers are doing a good job. It's not that a manager should perform miracles and make every employee engaged, achieve results, or grow. Because some employees, for example, may not have the potential or the basic knowledge required for this. There could also be other reasons for disengagement and poor performance, such as bad hires, in which case the issue lies with those responsible for hiring, right? Or could be reasons such as low financial compensation, a lack of career advancement opportunities within the company, and so on. These are factors over which the direct manager, if he or she is not the employer, also may have no control, right? But if your company has dissatisfied employees, poor performance, or a high turnover rate, instead of assuming that those employees simply aren't a good fit, you might consider assessing whether their direct managers are doing a good job, right? I often hear the advice to get rid of the people who are bad apples quickly. But labels can be easily put on people, and you need to investigate first whether there are solid reasons behind them. And coming back to my previous statement, one employee can behave and perform poorly under a certain manager and excellently under another one. And yes, if you have team members who consistently perform poorly or have attitudes or behaviors that you don't want in your company, you should do something about it. But firing should be the last option you consider. Because firing a person quickly involves certain risk for a company. For example, from a legal point of view, the employer should have solid and documented reasons for terminating a work contract to protect themselves in case of a lawsuit. Although we may assume that the person won't go to trouble of suing the company, we never know, right? Then terminating an employment contract without taking measures and actions to correct the issues for which we want to fire that person is a proof of rigidity and a refusal to give them another chance to do things right in the future. And they may or may not take the chance that we give to them, but at least the employer shows goodwill and a willingness to help the employee keep his or her job. Then this employer behavior also has a positive impact on the other team members because if they know that making a mistake could lead to being fired or forced to leave, just like other colleagues were, they will fear losing their jobs at any time. And the lack of job security can lead to other unwanted behaviors, such as detachment from the job, lower engagement. So why would they give their best effort if they are not sure they will have the job after a week or two, right? Or lack of open communication and even hiding mistakes. Employees may also start looking for backup plans in case they lose their jobs, such as being open to other opportunities and offers. Job insecurity affects employees in many other ways in their personal lives as well. So, for example, they may refrain from making financial investments or taking out loans if they are uncertain about their ability to cover the costs in the future. Then, those who were fired after being given the chance to correct the issues for which they were no longer wanted in the company have less reasons to feel resentment about what happened to them. They were not taken by surprise. They knew about the issues they were fired for. They discussed them with their leader, understood the employer's expectations, and were shown ways to repair those issues, right? They had time to improve. And even if they leave bad reviews about the company on social media, they don't have real reasons to blame the employer. And from another perspective, the employer has to recognize that having that person in his or her company is a consequence of the hiring decisions that were made. And some may deny this responsibility, saying that you can't know for sure whether a person will be right for the company or not, but you have to try. And yes, I agree with this. You can be 100% sure, and things can happen after hiring a person that may change the situation. So, for example, employees may experience health issues or life events that affect their abilities and willingness to dedicate themselves to work. However, the employer who takes responsibility for hiring decisions ask themselves questions such as where did I go wrong with this person? Was I too enthusiastic to hire him or her so that I didn't evaluate them properly? Should I introduce a new test to assess those competencies, whatever those competencies are? Should I involve other team members to gain different perspectives? Should I ask different questions in the interview or add new ones to better assess the candidate's behavior or ethics? And these questions will help the employer improve the hiring process and decisions and reduce the risk of making poor hires. To wrap up, the influence that direct managers have on those they lead is significant, not only for the employees, but also for your company's results. And choosing the right managers, based not only on their dedication to your company or on their results, but also on their leadership skills, is important to facilitate your employees' engagement, development, and performance. And investing in leadership development not only strengthens your team, but also drives long-term business success, making it essential to assess, support, and continuously improve the capabilities of those in leadership positions. Thank you so much for listening, or if you are on Spotify or on my website, for watching this episode. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching this episode. If you found value in this podcast, one way to support us is by subscribing. For more tools and insights to enhance your leadership skills and your employees' motivation, visit my website at improvework.ro. There you'll find a variety of online programs and courses. You can also book a free consulting sessions or a discovery call with me. I love to connect and support you on your leadership journey. See you in the next episode.